Alright, here we go. Let's pull this curtain across. Alright, we've got lights, we've got LEDs. Do we have a marquee? We have a marquee, yes! Alright. We have an intro, we have sound. Whew! But do we have a startup script and shutdown button? Let's test. Absolute metal. Great, so can I turn it back on with it? Oh, sometimes I am so happy. This is one of those times. Right. So, soldering seems to be back together. The buttons seem to be back together. Light marquee seems to be working. Have we got the bright pointless light? Yes, but you can't really see it on camera. Oh, you can if I sort of hold it long enough. Yeah, all good. Right. Right. So what do we need to do now? We just need to give it a quick paint, cover up some of the cracks, and maybe do that binding again. Right, let's shut it down. Oh, pardon me, let's shut it down. There we go. Don't do me like that. Alright, gonna take a few seconds just to make sure it's written everything to the SD card. Alright, let's unplug. Okay, soldering. Done. Let's unplug that soldering iron before I actually burn my hand and clean up a bit. Okay, all these little bits of wires. Right, little solder everywhere. I actually put double ply. Right, that's gonna artifact all to hell. There we go, that should stop the artifacting. Hey, look at me, I know how encoding works. Right, let's go back to the tunes. Let's play the tunes again. Okay, so what do we do now? Okay, the idea now, again, I still hate the fact. I am wondering, painting the top of this might not be... Like, you've got to weigh up. Will painting the top of it make it look worse? And I'm not sure. Like, I could probably do a nice coat. And I could probably get in those edges real nice. And if I did mask off the top of that, it would look alright. But it's the... I've got to get across the front here. I've got a fine brush, where it's just like a few, like all of the bristles have been tweezed out, but a few. I don't know if you can see that. Hang on, let me just use it on the string. Come on. Come on. There you go. So a few of the bristles have been tweezed out. And I also have a slightly larger brush as well. So that will help me get a larger surface area done. First things first, let's get a cup. Medical gloves. Get yourself a box of medical gloves. You can get them on Amazon. You don't need to go into like a pharmacy or anything. Get yourself a box of powder-free latex gloves if you're doing anything like this. Especially with car paint. Like auto paint from the pound shop. You are asking for trouble. You most definitely need. You most definitely need some kind of hand protection. Okay, alright. What I'm trying to do is just clean up these sides without, hopefully without having to remove Bob and Bob here. Okay, why did that come loose since yesterday? Has one of these kids been mucking about with it? I think I know which one as well. I might, you know what, I'm going to remove that binding and make a new binding. Yeah, I'm going to remove that binding. But making a binding's like a doddle, so I can do another one. But I want to make sure I've got enough paint and that the paint goes all the way up to the binding. Alright, let's pull the binding off. Alright. I can't really use it again. Well, I suppose I could, but it'd be quick and easy to cut another one. Alright, so how's this looking? So what do? Do I file it down? Or do I cover it up with paint and hope for the best? I might... No, I don't really want to run a file over it. I might. Alright, hang on. Let's just get the file out. There's a small file. This one I do. Just want to smooth it out a little bit. Again, I'm just taking paint off at this point. Just so I can see what's underneath. Okay, alright. Let's remove some of that paint. Yeah. Alright. What I want to do is make it so it's not so pronounced, because there's a little bit of a tiny little bit of a bump here. So I'm keeping my finger, like my middle finger here, putting the file over that finger so it's not going to scratch any of this side down here. Is that USB coming out? It shouldn't do. There's a mountain of hot glue in there. No, it's fine. Alright, here we go. Keep that there. Alright. Yeah, that's not looking too bad. Maybe I can go this way a bit, hang on. I do not want to scratch this side here. Yeah, you know what, that's looking a little bit better. I've just taken like 1/2 mil, maybe? Not a lot. Yeah, 1/2 mil maybe. And then I can cover it all up with binding so it's not the end of the world. Alright, let's get that paint. Again, another invaluable tool. I've even painted with these, like dip that in paint and just run a little bit of paint over there. The only problem with these is you do get the odd little fibres poking out. It's a lot better for cleaning than it is for painting, but you totally can paint with these. It helps to get, if you've got like a little corner up here and you need to get paint in, you know, sometimes it's better just to mask off the bottom, mask off the top, and if you don't have a paintbrush thin enough, like if all you've got is that, by all means, just dip it in here. Like I say though, you will get the odd fibre every now and again. Right. Now what I'm going to do now, oh, you probably didn't hear that. What I'm going to do now is wind up my wife by walking into the hallway and spraying this in here in an unventilated corridor. She loves it. She loves nothing better than the smell of car paint and craft paint. Can't get enough of it. Alright, the only problem is, once I do this, I've got to be quick, because this stuff dries super quick. So I'm basically just going to put, like, a tiny little drip down there. Like a tiny little drip. And then quickly paint. And then maybe add a bit more, and then paint, then maybe add a bit more, and then paint. But I don't want to do it too much, because, again, breathing this stuff in, not cool. Also, the other thing to be aware is that when you spray, a lot of it is going to splash back onto your hand. So be aware, don't let the back of your hand rub on anything. Alright, where's that little brush? Here we go. I'm just going to dip that in there. Okay, I can get a fine point in there. So, let's look. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, it's just covering up the ugly bits. Okay. Yep, that's looking pretty good. Basically, anything that looks like glue or glue residue or, you know, stuff like that is what I'm trying to cover up. You can do as many coats as it needs, but you don't want to do too much because it will screw things up. As far as, you know, literally watching paint dry. I have actually found another Turrican game which I didn't know existed until recently. Someone ported it to Game Gear. I had like the original version, like the prototype, but since then they've released like a proper demo. So I might check out Turrican on the Game Gear soon. Looks pretty good. Plays alright. Yeah, so as well as failing design and technology, I also failed art. No art GCSE for me. I got half a D. I got a half GCSE. I think it was a D. Or was it a full D? It might have been a full GCSE. It might have been one of my subjects that I took. That said, I also did Latin for 2 years as well. There you go. Okay. Yep, quite pleased with that. Now, what I'm going to do now is turn this... Which bit did I just paint? Just there. Alright. And just touch up the back area while I've still got a little bit of paint, because the paint will separate in the cup. So I'm just going to touch up this back section. Again, I don't want to peel the stickers off, because I can't print any new stickers, because I don't know where that little printer went. So, it's like a little children's... Like those Japanese printers where you and your mates can print out pictures of yourself and stick them to key rings or a bag or whatever Japanese kids carry around with them. It's like those little tiny little friendship printers where you print out like essentially just pictures of you and your mates. I'm assuming it's like key rings and stuff, I don't know. Turns out, you may have gathered this from my accent, but I'm not a Japanese girl. Oh, that baseline is pretty filthy. Right, I am pretty pleased with that. Okay. Let's throw this straight in the bin, because it absolutely means... Oh! Coffee time. Kat's decided she's had enough. Alright, let's pull these off, because they're covered in paint. Now remember kids, solvent abuse is no joke. So make sure you're in a well ventilated room. And if you can't be in a ventilated room, do it outside. Right, where is... I've really got to pick better phrasing. Where the hell has my... Oh, there it is. Yeah, I did the binding yesterday, but because it wasn't filed underneath, it wasn't very... didn't look great. So I might do a double binding today. Okay, this is a little bit... Hold it in my mouth. Okay, let's just put that on. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then this side comes off. Okay. Oh god, there was stuff on there. Alright. Anyway, let's get this binding done. Don't want too much, that would do it. Will that do it? That'll do it. Alright. Okay. Is this going to be too skinny? Damn it. Yes, it is. Again, yesterday I was extolling the virtue of cheap Chinese guitars. I'm into cheap Chinese anything, like anything you need. Those guys can bootleg it for you, and they're 9 times out of 10 absolutely serviceable. Chinese guitars, I mean, fair enough, you have some clunkers out there, but you know, if you're lucky, you'll get something pretty decent for way less of the cost. That might be a bit big actually, but we'll try it. That's about square. Again, all of this is, well, that's about right. That's close enough, because that's kind of how I operate. Like, I want it to feel a bit rough around the edges, a bit handmade. Well, not a bit handmade, very handmade. If it was machined and it was printed and it was like perfect, it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't have the same charm. Ooh, and that's actually not a bad fit. Alright. So let's just move this binding down a bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right. Gonna need a little bit of cleanup there. Okay. Yep. No problem. All right. Let's cut that binding. To the sounds of 1991 Euro house. Last little bit, and I think we might be done. Well, we're definitely done for today. That's better. There you go. Atta boy. Alright, so we now have a nice clean binding across the top. Just need to clean up some of that maybe with a razor blade. But overly, it's looking pretty nice. It looks better than yesterday's one, mostly because I filed down that section there. What do we do today? We have done the switches, we've resoldered the switches, we've resoldered the light bulbs, we have soldered the on and off button twice. What else have we done? What else did we do? We regrounded the backlight. So yeah, we regrounded the backlight, we regrounded the switch, we also connected that switch to the positive, and we connected the on and off button together. We haven't reapplied any of the stickers, but I am maybe going to put a little bit of glue on there. And we've added new binding, and we've added a little bit of paint just to cover up the damage that it sustained when it fell. But overly, I'm quite happy with that. And I think I am going to leave that there. Maybe plug it in and play something else that'll wind up Nintendo. Let's play Mario 64 on it. That'll really wind up Nintendo. Alright, cool. Peace.